Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on as we continue to work our way through the entirety of the current Bell & Ross catalog. We greet one of the 2018 Bell & Ross Baselworld novelties. This is the Bell & Ross experimental series BR-X1 Renault Sport 18, the RS18, so named as it is one of the 2018 special series watches in honor of Bell & Ross's Formula One partner, Renault Sport Formula One team. Now, the timepiece is 45 millimeters across its case, and only 250 will be made for the year, so it's both bold and exclusive, but you will note that it is the proverbial big watch that wears compact. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, the hypoallergenic titanium is feather light. The case is broad with a regularly shaped case back, so there are no hot spots or pressure points. It's large, it has a bold stance, it's easy to read, and at the same time it is very comfortable. It's important to note that the watch has a wonderfully profiled case flank if you do expect to wear it with a jacket cuff, for example, as the multiple steps allow a sleeve to ramp up and over the flank, ideal when wearing a blazer or a sport jacket with your watch. Now, from lug to lug, even though the watch does effectively wear 45 millimeters square, the measurement across the wrist is 53.2 millimeters, but you'll note just how short cropped, stubby, and tight coupled the lugs are to the case flank, so they nicely drape the strap over the edge of your wrist. It's a handsome and comfortable arrangement. The timepiece features a custom strap that is made for the RS series. You'll note robustly defined on the top with a series of striations that emulate Formula One cooling vents. It also features a full width, quite broad, 34 millimeters across the case that ensures it stays planted rather than torquing side to side. Bell & Ross always does a good job of pairing its instrument series watches with broad straps to match. You'll also note that on the underside, plenty of channels to evacuate moisture, heat, sweat, grit, oils from the wrist on a hot day. The timepiece featuring an oversized, media blasted and faceted titanium pin buckle for quick on-the-fly adjustments. And moving back to the case profile, you'll note that it's beautifully defined on the opposite side with a step even to the small details. The apertures for the pin buckle, you can see how each one features a little bit of shouldering and a stepped decline from the plane of the strap down to the perforation itself. Bell & Ross even angling the individual perforations for a more secure fit by the pin buckle. Thoughtfully designed of strap and of case, you can see that the case form itself features the same media blasted titanium profile as seen on the pin buckle, but at the same time, and we can get a little closer now that the watch is off the wrist, you'll note that the case itself features the imagery of the instrument series, yes, with the cushion case profile, but at the same time, the positive and negative volumes, the recesses, the strong character lines, and the curvatures of a motorsports alloy casting, suspension components, gearboxes, chassis members, and engine blocks. The lines of the case are simply redolent of mechanical engineering. Now, it makes sense. The watch is designed effectively as a machine that will tell you time. So this is a time machine, nothing less. You'll even note that opposite the rocker-style chronograph actuators, there is actually a highly aggressive recess with high grip rubber that allows you to brace your fingers laterally as you operate the chronograph. That's what this recess and this flash of Renault Sport Yellow in natural vulcanized rubber allow you to accomplish. It is there for ergonomics and style in equal measure, form and function coming together in the RS18. Now, you'll note some of the items that are standard to the instrument series, as the experimental does borrow generously from Bell & Ross's iconic collection. The 4 individual bolts framing the circular and slightly elevated bezel at center, the cushion profile, the stubby lugs, and naturally there's a small amount of faceting about the flank of the case top. You can see that the essential case construction of case top, mid case, and case back is retained. Moreover, high legibility reigns on the dial, even though it is an open dial that allows you to see into the heart of the Bell & Ross BR-313 movement. Nevertheless, there are elements that make this function over form. It's got both, but function comes first. Starting with the tachymeter outboard featuring a high contrast Renault Sport yellow on a black base. Now, of course, the tachymeter used for gauging the speed of an object over, for instance, a standing kilometer or a standing mile. So the tachymeter used to gauge speed, the rest of the dial used to read time. It's simultaneously the image of a motorsports instrument, such as you might see within a Formula One cockpit, featuring the colors, the typeface, the general legibility as the first priority. And then after that, you see a number of elements that are homage to the racing environment: the red of trackside curbing, the yellow of Renault Sport, and the bare metal, as you'll find on many motorsports engineered applications, from automobile wheels to suspension members to heads, blocks, crankshafts, and engine internals. Now, I will add that it is a beautifully luminescent dial at night, so there will be a lume shot. Stay tuned. You'll also note a subtle date has been indicated at 6 o'clock, replacing the numeral at 6. It's subtle, it's there when you want it, it disappears when you don't. Contrast is high in spite of the fact that this is an open dial, and it's going to get even more dramatic when the lights go down. Now, there is a small viewport so you can see the high-grade balance of the Bell & Ross BR-313 chronograph movement. It features 56 joules, automatic winding with bidirectional action, a 40 to 42 hour power reserve, and a number of refinements. The screw-down crown endowing the watch with 100-meter water resistance, so it is a track-inspired watch, but it's equally appropriate for water sports. The timepiece featuring the hacking or stop seconds to synchronize to an accurate time, such as a trackside clock or race timer, and of course the quick set for the dates. You can rapidly cycle that information should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. Crisp action comes by means of rocker switches that feature the same high-grip Renault Sport rubber that the thumb shim on the opposite side boasts. You can see the graphics indicating the stop, start, and reset motions, as well as the Bell & Ross crown featuring both a blasted interior and a relieved and high-polished ring and Bell & Ross ampersand logo. You will note that the crown is robustly shouldered by the rocker systems. The actual pushers for the chronograph are shielded underneath the rockers simply giving you a larger target and an easier grip when operating the chronograph. They do double duty, serving as a shoulder and crown guard for the crown itself. With screw-down action, the crown is safe and secure against both shearing and water. This is a timepiece with full-faceted sports compatibility. Do you want to swim with it? You can. Do you want to watch motorsports with it? You can. And if you're among the fortunate few who partake in motorsports directly, this is the ideal timepiece to wear over your Nomex suit. You can see this watch and the entire collection of Bell & Ross timepieces and learn more on our website, govbergwatches.com. And we're back with the Bell & Ross experimental BRX1-RS18 Renault Sport 2018. As you can see, though this is a Formula One inspired watch, it's equally appropriate for when night falls on a 12 or 24 hour enduro. Equally at home at Monaco and Le Mans. You can see this one and the entire Bell & Ross collection. Learn more on govbergwatches.com.